We are halfway through the year of 2024, and quite frankly, we've had a decent number of champions crowned this year so far, and I wanted to do a little something different for today's video, and that is ranking every single champion over on the main roster for the WWE, from best, that is S tier, to the worst of D tier. And I'm going to be specific for that of Rhea Ripley, Gunther, Roman Reigns, and Logan Paul. We are specifically talking about this year. Anything that has been done prior will not be counted. That being said, if you like wrestling content, we have that here on the daily, so feel free to like, comment, subscribe, keep your boy over on the Twitch, because we got some wrestling content over there. Same for the socials, wrestling and variety. And yeah, let's get into the video. You know what? Screw it. We're not even calling this S. I'm going to go ahead and give this a better name. We have God Mode, amazing, okay, could be better, and Dog Water. And again, as a reminder, we are specifically talking about this year alone. And with that being said, we're going to start off with a bit of a controversial take. Roman Reigns, it would be bad faith to put him in Dog Water. But at the same time, this year, Roman Reigns has not really done that great with his championship reign. In all honesty, if we're going to go ahead and talk about his time with the Bloodline, with the whole storyline leading up to WrestleMania, he wasn't exactly the main thing you were paying attention to. In fact, he kind of was just there in the background as compared to that of The Rock or to Cody Rhodes or Seth Rollins. And even before that, he had what, one feud? But it would be in bad faith to put him in Dog Water, because he was still part of that absolutely amazing storyline leading into WrestleMania, those 3 great, glorious grand months. But on the flip side, he's only defended the title like, what, twice this year? Wrestled 3 times this year? Roman Reigns, specifically talking about 2024, and if I'm being honest, probably put him there for 2023 as well. His reign could have been better. Absolutely glorious ending, but the rest of it, Next up, the ring general, and quite frankly, anything that this man has done when he was the Intercontinental Champion was absolutely in God mode. From every defense he had this year, leading up to his loss against Sami Zayn, my god, this man has a bright career in the WWE. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and skip right over to Sami Zayn. So far, you know what? I'm removing this question mark. No, I'm putting it amazing. We were concerned whether or not that whether or not the champion that follows Gunther was going to be able to have a comparable reign to him, whether or not it would be a bit more of a burden to carry the weight of that championship, of beating the reign general, and potentially squandering that championship's prestige. But my god, Sami Zayn took the ball and ran with it. Also helped by the fact that he's had quite the amazing storyline involving Chad Gable, enjoyable matches with Chad and Bronson Reed. He is going in amazing. There's no question. Rhea Bloody Ripley. I don't know where to put her, because it's between amazing and okay. Her storyline with Becky Lynch, I'll be real with you, it kinda sucked. Her match with Becky Lynch, however, was pretty enjoyable, at the very least in my opinion. In my opinion, I enjoyed the match. I popped one, Rhea won. Would I say it was better than Rhea versus Charlotte of last year? I wouldn't say that. But quite frankly, it was still enjoyable. Same for her match against Nia Jax earlier this year. Probably one of Nia's best matches in her entire career. And the slight bit of story stuff we've gotten with her involving the Judgment Day has also been enjoyable. But at the same time, again, she didn't exactly have the best storyline with Becky Lynch and was out of action after WrestleMania. So it does kind of hinder her, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of don't remember if she did anything leading up to the Royal Rumble, defending the title then. That was kind of the main issue of Rhea Ripley's reign in its entirety, was the fact that she kind of was struggling to find people that were on her level and that could potentially be a threat to her championship reign. So with that being said, I'm gonna put her in okay. The revolutionary. No, excuse me. Let me get this properly done correctly. He is the visionary. He is the revolutionary. He is Seth. And with the years Seth has had, there have been ups and there have been downs. There have been, you know what? I'll be real. I was sitting here debating whether or not to put him in okay or amazing. But the fact that this man wrestled at WrestleMania 2 nights in a row with a banged up knee that was hardly functional, when this man had an amazing feud, technically a three-way feud with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, but predominantly his feud with Drew McIntyre, and not to mention he had a lot of talk around him when it came to him versus Jinder Mahal, even though I will admit it wasn't really because of him, it was because of Dog Tony Khan, but nevertheless, my point still stands. A lot of what Seth has been revolves around, and the fact that he's still been able to put on great matches, even with a very, very banged up knee. You're going in God mode. Argue with the wall. Seth is going in God mode. And yes, I am taking into account that he was kind of getting a little come near the end of his title reign, but at the same time, that might just be because of how a lot of us wanted Drew to win the big one a lot sooner, and added to the fact that we had a lot, and I mean a lot, of champions that were holding their titles for a good long while, and the fact that Seth was kind of meh at points. Actually, no, I can't even call him meh, because at the very least, there was a period where we were not even acknowledging Roman Reigns in his presence, because he was barely appearing, he was barely defending, he was barely doing anything with his title, to the point that, and that's also why I'm going to put Gunther ahead of Seth. Gunther felt like the main champion and Seth was right there with him. These two were untouchable. Absolutely untouchable with their title reigns. But even with the negative, I still had to put Seth Rollins in God mode. Io Sky, I don't hurt. The way we led the beginning of the Enforce title reign against Bayley was enjoyable. The match with Bayley, lovely, one of the best, but I'd be absolutely higher than. Even then, I feel like Rhea did a bit more for that title. And if you remove the whole Bayley stuff, I would have to put her down. It could be better. Probably below Roman Reigns. Actually, yeah, below. Even then, personally, I don't know if her reign felt as strong as it did. Oh, the stuff that Roman is, no, I had to put it. It could be better. I had to put her. Logan Paul could be better. You know what? I will give Logan Paul this. He had one of my favorite matches to WrestleMania. And he has very, very enjoyable storylines. That being said, he defended the title like this year and Russell. All I remember is this man has barely defended that title, and we are doing his Hero List for Champion. So quite frankly, dude should consider himself lucky that I not tossed to give it to Dogwater, so kinda deserves it. Judgment Day. Honest with you, off the head, I remember no feud outside of when they got set up to lose the title. But at the same time, they appear, I'll put them at the bottom of women's tag time, sadly. Watch the booking of their title reign, or the tag title in general, up until our current champion. But beforehand, yeah. And sadly, I can't give much of a better placement for Austin and Kyrie. I'll put you at the bottom of A-Town Down Under. Sadly, good lord, a lot of they're young. They're young at the beginning of their championship reign. At the same time, A-Town Down Under could also be better. They aren't really having that many notable storylines outside of them beefing with DIY and starting to beef with themselves. I can't really give y'all much. Same exact thing for the Awesome. They're not disappointing, but at the same, you know what, I gotta be honest, they kind of feel like they're doing a little less. Well, they're having more matches and more notably enjoyable matches, but it feels like there's nothing gripping me in terms of a tag team field. At the very least, A-Town Down Under has Drew McIntyre. Lasted 5 minutes. But my god, those 5 minutes, I was absolutely screaming my head lung off. I was screaming my head off. Insert it here. Good lord, that audio's abs. But again, 5 minutes. I can't do no better. For the purpose that I'm putting it on. No. For my own personal bias, when it was 5 minutes, from the start of the reign, I was absolutely, had this year, I'd probably put in Dogwater But again, bias. Damian Priest, I'll be honest with you, it still doesn't feel like he has that factor where he should be the top champion. It does feel like he's having enjoyable matches, but even then, like, he had a few with Jey Uso, and then what? I don't really recall what else he's done. So I don't want to feel this could be better with that many people, but my god, I'm putting Damian Priest at the top of could be better. Bayley, it's okay. I'll be real. I'm intrigued to see what we do with Piper Niven versus Bayley. I enjoyed that multi-woman match. I enjoyed the story leading up to her winning the title in the match itself. But at the same time, there hasn't been enough story or character base. And again, we're still early in this reign. She's only defended the title like, what, twice? Maybe 3 times? I'm going to give it some more time before I put it in amazing, if I can't even put it in amazing. Cody Rhodes, I'll put you at the top of okay. Had a 5-star match with AJ Styles and had an pretty enjoyable match with Logan Paul, but I'll be real, this man has absolutely no stories. No really notable stories. Up until now, he's kind of gotten a bit of a story, and he somewhat had one with Logan Paul, and now he kind of has a bit of one with that of AJ Styles, but even still, the storytelling quality has kind of dropped down. That's kind of where Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns differ. Roman Reigns had alright matches, although you kind of knew the formula was him having interference in the middle of the match or at the end of the match, and then he wins, lol. He barely appeared, but the stories they would have were pretty captivating, enjoyable, something that you had to see. Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, he appears continuously. His matches are very, very enjoyable, and they're predictable, but in a different way, where you know that he's going to win, but you don't know exactly when or how. And on top of that, he actually shows up constantly. We aren't sitting here forgetting that he's champion like we did with Roman Reigns for a decent period of time, but I still feel like there's room for this title reign to grow. And I will also say that whole setting up Cody versus The Rock so early kind of hindered a bit of this reign as well. Because you know he's not losing that title until The Rock feud happens, and hopefully he doesn't lose to The Rock. Hopefully we have that at SummerSlam. So for now, it's going in okay. Storytelling has dramatically dropped down in quality, but yeah. Liv Morgan, I'm going to put it also in okay, having a pretty enjoyable storyline, and I liked her match with Becky Lynch, but at the same time it's so fresh, so new, I can't really put you much higher than that. Really digging the storyline that we're setting up to a Rhea versus Liv Morgan match, and on top of it all, damn Dom. I see you, Dom. Becky Lynch, on the other hand, I feel like her title reign could have been better. I don't really have much even to say about it, other than I feel like she was just holding that title, keeping it warm, so Liv could win off of her. And then, since this is also actively ongoing, I'm going to put y'all in okay as well. But Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair very well may be the individuals to make the women's tag team championships feel worth something. They are the two, I actually can't. I'll put Logan Paul a bit lower. He's had some pretty enjoyable matches, but at the same time, this man has only defended it again like once or twice. But going back to Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, they've had enjoyable matches with the titles, and now we have the women's tag division finally waking up. So I am intrigued to see how far this title reign goes, and hopefully we can continue it on, potentially leading into maybe even next year's WrestleMania. Maybe even the night after WrestleMania, you can go ahead and have them lose. And I'm going to say this now, and I'll say this probably again after this Sunday, after Clash of the Castle. Potentially, Bianca and Jade could lose the titles to Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. But that's just my pick. That's just my opinions. That's just my thoughts. Who would you say has had the best championship reign of this year in the WWE? So go ahead, comment down below. Let me know. And don't forget again, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, see ya.